Man, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy B.
And it's your boy, Official Go Getter.
Hey, man, this is a special episode of the Blueprint Table podcast, man. We out here in the original neighborhood of Seattle. We in Pioneer Square, y'all. Check out the scenery. Check out the scenery. Check out the scenery. Today, we got a special little topic here that we're going to talk about just for a couple moments with y'all. Is college a scam?
Man, I'm saying yes. I'm saying my personal answer, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it, no fluffing around, man. I personally believe college is a scam. Obviously, degree matters, right? As we was talking about earlier, right? It's more so that your degree that is a scam, right? Not college itself. But really choosing your degree matters because a lot of this time and the time that we're moving in, after those 4 years, you may end up actually being behind instead of being ahead like you thought you were. So, Brandon, you tell me what you think, man.
Man, I got to break it down like this here. You get what I'm saying? So, I would say probably ever since, probably the mid 1800s, late 1800s, everybody knows that going to college will get you a degree that'll get you a good enough job to be able to, build your wealth, support your family, and do everything that you need to do. Now, if you fast forward to 2025, there are so many different degrees that cost so much money where basically after you get the degree, you'll still be just as bad or worse off than somebody who just immediately went to the workforce. Now, I got to play devil's advocate right now with you. I ain't even going to lie to you.
Go ahead.
I think college can be a scam. College can be a scam. But I don't think it is a scam. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Colleges and universities are businesses like anything else. But I also think there are pros to college as well. You know what I mean? Networking. If you want to get a job, everybody knows you. If you watch the last episode, your network is your net worth. I mean, if you go to a reputable university and you're able to get a 4-year or a 6-year or an 8-year, 10-year degree, you know what I mean, at one of these big universities, the people who you're going to be connected to, I mean, I ain't going to lie. These are some rooms that you won't even get into most times unless you go to a university or you go to a college, or those rooms be harder to get into. But we could break down the conversation a little more. I just had to play devil's advocate. I can't say it's a full scam.
And I really do hear you because I agree a lot with that. I'm glad you brought that up because, right, I didn't go to college personally, right? I knew exactly what I wanted as soon as I graduated. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew what skills I wanted to pick up on. I knew that I wanted to learn my lessons through life, right? I wanted life to teach me my experience, right? So long story short, through this journey, I have realized the cheat code to college is that I would have had a bigger network, right? I would have been in a position of, I would have been more in a environment of like-minded individuals, right? So I would say that B is right. College for sure can be something that's beneficial, but I also think that if you take those 2 years or take a year to figure out what it is that you actually want after high school, to figure out who you are, right? That's important before you go to college as well, so you can actually take advantage of college, right?
Of course, and I agree with that too. Let's break it down a little bit, because we usually try to take some of these topics. Hopefully, they could be a little bit controversial topics sometimes. Really, just conversation starters, right? So, let's break down the different ways that college can be a scam. The different ways that, or actually, let's say it like this: the most efficient way to capitalize off of a college degree, and some of the ways to avoid being scammed by a college or university. How about we break it down like that?
Yeah, we break it down like that.
So, as far as efficiency, I feel like nowadays liberal arts degrees, it's just a no. It's just a no. We were actually looking at a couple of viral pieces of content here while we were preparing for this conversation, and if your degree specializes in the study of pretty much anything, and you don't want to necessarily be a professor, you probably don't want to go that route. You can do as much research with the internet, with classes, with night classes, to where if you want to be a proficient in whatever it is, let's say it's the study of a language, let's say it's the study of African American studies, let's say if it's any sort of topic that you just want to be a savant in, there are probably other ways that you can acquire that knowledge without that being your major. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get exactly what you're saying.
If you're going to be getting a college degree in 2025 or further, and your goal from getting the college degree is obtaining a job that's going to pay you enough money to support a family, I ain't going to lie, man. I think moving into this new day and age, you gotta probably, let's see. Or what are a couple majors that you think will give you the best return on your investment for a college degree?
So right now, honestly, with the world that we're moving in, if your college offers anything with AI and machine learning, right, learning the large language models, take that, right? I would say computer science is also up there as well, but we're moving into AI so much, it's to the point where you could understand AI better than you can understand computer science, and you'll still get ahead, right? So that's something off the top of my head that I can think of, right? That's all I can think of right now as far as my field.
Yeah, respect. And I'm gonna just throw out a couple because again, we're just preemptively having this conversation, y'all. Just keeping it raw and direct with y'all. I would say if you're gonna go into the medical field, if you are planning to be either an RN, BSN, a doctor of a surgeon or anything like that, then I actually do think that going and getting a college degree is the best way, because really that's the only way that you could practice medicine.
Right.
We were even having a conversation of law. Law right now is even kind of in a weird space, in my opinion, due to AI. However, I do see there being an avenue down the line where lawyers utilize AI and are not completely replaced right in the next 10 years. But the thing is, AI is advancing so much that it's almost hard to call it. You get what I'm saying?
It really
But
is.
I would say a safe college bet is probably going to be something that has to do with medical or legal practice. The jury is still a little bit out on finance, but to be completely honest, I think business administration and finance, you can still find jobs now. I honestly even think that certain degrees that would allow you to be in human resources, certain degrees that would allow you to be any sort of kind of like logistics-based, large macroeconomic management positions, then I honestly think that a college degree can still help in this day and age. However, let's get to the part of the conversation where we actually talk about the things that you can do without a college degree, because even myself, I don't have a college degree. You get what I'm saying? And I definitely have been able to put myself in positions to have a pretty good paying 9 to 5, as well as, if you already tapped into some of our earlier episodes, we definitely have extracurricular income that we're able to get. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
So multiple streams of income you can definitely get without having a 9 to 5. But let's take the conversation here. What are some things that people can do then, or what are some things that you think are scammy about colleges and universities? And again, let's expound on what people could do with those extra years after high school if they're not going to go to college.
Yeah. To keep it simple, man, the biggest thing that I think is scammy about college is just the fact of how much it costs, right? When you talk about making investments, right, and investing in your future, you can get value out of college. College is valuable. Education is very valuable. Structure is very valuable. But also how much it costs, right? The opportunity cost of the investment also matters, right? So if I got to pay, I don't know exactly what college prices are off the top of my head, but I know the reason why I didn't go to college straight after high school is because financially, I saw myself, I said, okay, in 4 years, I could be ahead, figuring this life game out, get into the workforce, figure out these skills that will put me ahead, such as investing, such as building a business, such as getting my mindset right, such as structuring my life, right? All those things. And then I could be ahead of the person who's in college, I don't want to say lollygagging, forget it. You might be lollygagging, you get there your first year, your second year, you don't really know what you want, right? You're around all your friends, right? So that's the scam about college to me, because the cost of it doesn't really seem to benefit me, or to benefit in my mind for how much it costs, right? So what was the second part of the question? Some things that you can do.
Yeah,
my bad.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so I can just tell you what I personally did since I didn't go to college, right? Because I wasn't going to college, the reason why I felt so strong in my decision to not go to college is because I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I was already doing it, right? So I was very big on self-improvement and structuring my life. I was very big on learning. I was very big on investing, right? I was very big on working out, right? I was very big on these things and letting life teach me an experience. So if there is something that you can do, right, you can still learn, right? Because after high school, it's not a moment where you just stop learning and then you got to dread learning after high school is actually the best moment because you can start learning about the things that you actually want to learn about, right? So it doesn't necessarily feel like a chore, right? So when I'm sitting there and I'm studying stocks for 2 hours, right, I know this is something that's going to actually benefit my life and my future instead of me feeling like I'm just doing something to get by in a grade, right? So figure out what it is. Try different things, right? It doesn't matter whether or not you feel like you're doing the right thing. What matters is the fact that you're doing something, and along with that, right, you end up finding what it is that is right for you. And that's exactly what I did, man. I mean, I'm 22 now. I just turned 22, right? It's been about 4 years since I left college, or since
Left high
I
school.
graduated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would be almost graduating college now. And when I was 17, 18, I told myself, I said, man, if I stick to this plan, what matters is if you stick to this plan, right? If I stick to this plan for 4 years, I could be ahead of the people. The people who are graduating now are entering the life. I've been in life for the past 4 years. But what truly matters during that process is the fact that I stuck to the plan because I could be the same person who didn't go to college. And then for the next 4 years, I still didn't focus on what it is that I want to truly focus on. And next thing you know it, you still got to start from scratch. You could be in a worse position than somebody who did go to college, right? So the point being made after I say all this is structure, man. Figure out what you need to do to structure your own life because that's really what matters.
Yeah, respect, man. I appreciate you saying that. Go ahead. You got something else?
I want you to tell me your
Go ahead.
experience when it came down to after high school and your experience with college.
Sure. Yeah, so I actually, I did go to college, and I ended up dropping out. I went to music college, and I'm glad this is a nice segue because I think what Official Go Getter has said, it resonates with me because education is important no matter what. So even if you're not going to go to college, you need to pursue some sort of knowledge. You always need to be pursuing building some new skill sets, right? Something that I'm going to say as this airplane goes in front of us. But we're going to edit that thing out. But something that I really want to say is that after I left high school, I went to college to pursue music. Once I actually got to music school, I realized that a lot of the greatest musicians who were in that school were dropping out to go and work. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Exactly what you said. I think that there is a benefit to both. But if you're the type of person who maybe just dropped out of school or maybe you're considering to go another route other than college, I want this message to go to you. You should be actively pursuing some sort of new skill set or just work experience. I don't care if you have to go. Everybody has to humble themselves. I've had so many odd jobs, it makes no sense. But the thing is, I'm so serious. These odd jobs, bro. Every single odd job that you work, whether it be you working at the mall, at the shoe store, I've done that. I've had to sell shoes. I've worked at warehouses. I've delivered mail. I've worked at Domino's Pizza. Do you get what I'm saying? I've worked as a remodeler. I was building fences and cleaning up gunk out of gutters. You get what I'm saying? Then I started to work in real estate. I started to work as a property manager, being a community manager for HOA. Then I started running a commercial building, and now I'm running acquisitions for a $20 billion project. You get what I'm saying? Even with no college degree. Do you get what I mean? But without the college degree, what I did is I built work experience. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, like I said, my role after high school, I was figuring out what I wanted to do. I still do music to this day. Like I said, if you tapped into the first episode, you see what we do on the side. But when it comes to, is college a scam? Is it not? Should you go to college? Should you not? I want to mimic exactly what you said, man, and just say, no matter what you do, you have to have a goal and you have to have structure. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would honestly say if you don't already have any hard or soft skills developed right now, think of those trades. You know what I mean? Yeah. Plumbing, HVAC, electric will always be valuable. It will always be valuable. Seriously, we were. You know what I mean? And if you are a person that wants to pursue something that's more white collar, then you need to learn how to sell.
And then, Brandon, also talk about, so especially with plumbers and electricians being valuable, talk about how they're going to be even more valuable with the day and age that we're going into. With everything going into AI.
Well, so I think that we're in a really weird place. We're in a place where you have to stay up to date and stay current on what is going on the world stage and in your state and in our country, right? AI looks like it's going to replace a lot of people. A lot of people here in Seattle have been laid off. I mean, look at some of the stats. I really don't have to list them right here, but we might even be able to cite some. Do you get what I mean? Hundreds of thousands of people have been laid off in the tech sector because of AI. And the point that I'm trying to make is, with this world that's being ever changing, you have to start thinking about the different jobs and roles that are recession proof, that are AI proof, or would be enhanced, right? Like I said, plumbing. I think we're probably some ways away from robots being the ones that could come and fix your septic tank, or the ones that can come and repipe an entire new building. Do you get what I'm saying? So plumbers are going to be, more valuable than anything. I'm going to say something that's kind of obscure, but elevator technicians.
Wow.
We work out of a building that's 130 years old, and we were just on the elevator today, and I was telling them how my company has spent over $50,000 in the last month just on maintenance on elevators. You get what I'm saying? Again, I'm pretty sure we're a little ways away from robots being able to come into your building and fix your elevator. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So open your eyes to the different skill sets that you have a good hunch will be valuable in the future, and I think you'll give yourself the best opportunity to make some money for you and your family.
Yeah, and just to further validate your point about people losing jobs and the economy being
Bring up a couple points.
Today, right here, I just remembered as soon as he said that, I got a notification from CNBC. We got a notification today talking about U.S. economy when they did the report is worse than thought, with 1.2 million fewer jobs, right? So 1.2 million people are out of a job, which is fewer than what they thought, right? Long story short, just to validate your point where, a lot of people is losing work, right? Work is being harder to find, right? And yeah, man. And also, I really do like what you said about humbling yourself after high school and working, and just working.
Just
because
work.
when you brought back memories about the odd jobs. Like, I've had so many jobs. I honestly probably don't want to tell you guys how many jobs that I've had, because because it's just been grinding, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially finding that balance. Here's one thing that I wish I learned earlier. Right, I don't regret anything, but if I would have applied this earlier, it would have made things a lot more smoother. Right. So if you are out of high school, right, or you are going into the workforce, right, find a job that aligns closest with who you are and what you want to accomplish. Right. So then you don't feel like you're dreading work. That's the only thing that caused me to go from job to job. I bounced from one job for 3 months to the next for 3 months. Then I'm at the other one for 3 months, right? But I went through that process to now find the job that actually aligns with where I'm trying to go, right? And with my entrepreneurship endeavors. So now when I'm at work now, it doesn't necessarily feel like work. I'm saying all that to say that jumping around is worse than just staying consistent at one place for 1 year and just staying consistent with progress. Just that. So find a job that you can stay at and be consistent with that progress, and you can be out of the job sooner than you expect.
For sure. And I think we're getting into a new era of, or not even a new era, but specialized skill sets. You know what I mean? So these different odd jobs that you have will build you and mold you into a type of person that has such a unique skill set and unique perspective that you're almost a shoe-in for a specific job down the line, if that makes sense. I want to throw something else here too. This isn't for everybody, but for some people who maybe don't know exactly what they want to do, or maybe they want to walk into the workforce, but they don't have a degree, you got to learn how to sell something. So I would start with maybe a retail sort of job that gets you in front of people selling small products. You get what I'm saying? If you can get you a little starter job at T-Mobile or AT&T, or maybe we can't say brands in the thing, at some sort of telecom provider, you get what I'm saying? Something that'll have you in front of people, finding solutions to their problems. That'll help you more than anything. You get what I'm saying? One of my biggest mentors in my life personally is a vice president at Wells Fargo. You get what I'm saying? And he's the VP of sales and operations, and has been at Wells Fargo for over 20 years, and, retired, got out of retirement, makes more money than either of us combined, I'm sure. You get what I'm saying? With no college degree. Do you get what I'm saying?
Wow.
So at the end of the day, when it comes to like I said, the real world and everything like that, people really just care, can you do the job or not? And a lot of times you are able to get on the job training that people actually would prefer, rather than just coming straight out of college. You know what I mean? And especially I want to piggyback off of what Official Go-Getter said, where he said, picking a job that you can stay at for a long time. These jobs like enterprise, rent a car, do not sleep on big brands like Walmart. Do you get what I'm saying? People don't even know that the managers of Walmart make high six figures if you are running an entire Walmart by yourself. I'm serious. If you're running a grocery store as the manager, you can make a good amount of money. If you're a manager of a McDonald's, believe it or not, I'm trying to tell you, you can make enough money to support your family. You get what I mean? So staying in a role at a job that has a nice big brand, it could definitely be some leverage for you.
Before we wrap it up, B, I got a question for you. I'm gonna answer as well, man. So let me know, if you had $100,000 today, if you had to invest $100,000 today, are you gonna put it into a college degree or are you gonna put it into yourself?
Man, I ain't gonna lie right now. If I had $100,000 right now, I'm investing in myself. I can't speak for anyone else, but based off of where I am right now, I think I would be heavily investing in media marketing. I will find a product that I'm trying to sell, whether it be a product or service, and I would dump so much money into the content around it so you can have people coming to you to fix their problem. That's 100% what I would do. You get what I mean? I think that right now, there's no better investment than in yourself. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, like I said, I ain't a stock guy. You know what I'm saying? Like everything like that. I'm sure a lot of people would take $100, put it into Bitcoin. You know what I mean? What I would do, I would take that $100,000, put it into my business media marketing, put it into my branding, and get a lot of inbound leads coming in so I could close a bunch of deals. What would you do?
Hey,
would you put your $100,000? What would you do with your $100,000? Would you put it into a college degree, or what would you do something else with it?
First, shout out to all my stocks and crypto people. We gonna make sure Brandon at least put 10% in the market. We gonna make sure he puts 10% of that 100,000 in the market, man. But if I had 100,000 right now, if you were to give me that, man, it's for sure investing into myself. Specifically, I'm starting with investing in stocks and crypto, man. A hefty 50% going into that, right? So that's 50K down there. But then I liked what you said about media, right? So media, we were just talking about content and media. I would definitely upgrade my content studio, right? I'll definitely grab me a camera, right? I'll definitely just upgrade the equipment that I have to make sure that I have the best media for the business that I'm going to invest in, right? So the money that I'm gonna use for building the business also has to be used for putting the business out there and marketing it for the media to make sure that I have the best media. So I'm going that route. But to clear it up, for sure, I'm going to investing in myself route instead of investing into the college degree, right?
So let's break it down like we said, man. Honestly, I think the answer is college a scam? To be completely honest, I think if we're going to have to say yes or no, I think we could both say, no, it's not a scam. Really, what you have to ask yourself is college for you? Is college for me? Do you get what I'm saying? And you have to weigh the pros and cons. Okay, for what you want to do with your life and what you want to do as a profession and in order to support you and your family, is college the right decision for me? Do you get what I'm saying? And if you're somebody who found yourself going to college, maybe you dropped out or maybe you didn't have good enough grades in high school, just know that your life is not over because you couldn't go to college, because there's a lot of people who had to deal with that. Do you get what I'm saying? And everything is about creating structure around your life, creating a plan and sticking to it consistently. I'm trying to tell y'all can get this money. Y'all will definitely be able to thrive in this day and age, but you got to keep your eyes open, got to keep your ears open. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm going to say no, college is not necessarily a scam, big wise, but I ain't going to lie. Don't waste your time on them liberal arts degrees, man. Come on now.
Yeah, man. The playing field is level now. We're going into it. We've been in a whole different age now, day and age, and we're going into an even more different day and age, man. So, no, college isn't a scam, but if you are going to college, you got to think of everything as an investment, man. Just because it's college and they have put it onto us and programmed us to think that this is worth it, you got to ask yourself, how is it worth it for your life? Man, so with that being said, we can wrap it up, man. This is episode 3 of the Blueprint Table. Is college a scam or is college worth it?
You decide.
Let us know in the comments, man. We'll catch you guys on the next episode.
You already know what time it is.